The 3rd of November, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Shavua, told us.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very quiet. 1 second. You're very quiet. I don't hear you clearly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1 second. My volume is down. Let me check my volume. Right. Now you hear me better?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What? Yes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. No, somebody had not muted my microphone, but put it down to 12. Okay.
You mean your speaker?
My speakers, yeah. That's why you couldn't. Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
25.
Chapter 25. Right. We're up to Pasuk Chofei, right. 25, 25. Okay, let's go.
Yetze Harishon Ad Moni Kulo Ke Aderes Sear Vayikru Shemo Esav. And he came out, the first one, red.
Well, Rashi's going to say, actually, Admoni, Rashi's going to say, Admoni, where does Rashi say it? Where did Rashi say? It was a Radi, right? Paraduma, right, was made, it was the color was also Radi. It was like a reddish brown. It wasn't like a scarlet or crimson red. Okay?
Kulo Ke Deres Sear. All of him was covered with a robe of hair.
Kula, yeah, Kaderes is like a, Rashi's going to explain this, means like a fleece of hair.
Vayikra Shemo Esav, and they called his name Esav.
Okay. No, it says they called him. Who's they?
Yitzchak and Rivka.
Okay, we'll see. Rashi's going to point out slightly differently, but anyway.
Okay.
The doesn't see. Okay.
Admoni, red. Simon hu sheyehe shofech damim. It's a sign that he will be a spiller of blood.
Right. It's interesting. The Gemara says somebody who's born under the Mazel Ma'adim is born under the constellation of Mars, which is also red. That's why it's called Ma'adim in Hebrew. Right? It's a red. So I think they call it the red planet. No, Mars. Anyway, yeah. So anybody who's born under that constellation, so he will be naturally have a natural inclination to be, I don't want to say bloodthirsty, but anyway, to want to be occupied with blood. So Maya says that if he's a Adam Beinani, he should be a Shochet. If he's a Tzaddik, he'll be a Moel. So as a person can channel that koyach which he has of being, let's call it being, it doesn't mean necessarily bloodthirsty, but having an urge to work with blood, so you can channel it for the good. Doesn't necessarily have to be, like a death sentence for him. But anyway, Kolpani, he as well, there too, he was Admoini, he was like all red. It's a simon that he was Shefech Dom, he would be Shefech Dom. Derech Agav is very interesting. The Gemara says that Yitzchak did not give Esav a bris milah on the 8th day. Yaakov had his bris milah on the 8th day. But Esav did not have his bris milah on the 8th day. Why? Because he was red. And the halacha is somebody who's a child who's have very red complexion, we're choshesh that the liver is not functioning properly and he has an overabundance of blood. And it's dangerous for him to do bris milah. So therefore, Yitzchak did not do bris milah on Esav. He was this red, because he had such a strong red complexion. So Yitzchak was worried maybe he has this condition where he's very red, and therefore the blood is not properly absorbed into the body, and therefore it would be dangerous for him to do the bris milah. And he waited till he was 13 years old, till Esav was 10 years old, and when he came to he was 13 years old, Esav already refused. He says, I'm not doing it. So Esav never had a bris milah. Okay.
I think there's a problem with that because I believe there's a midrash that says that Yaakov put Dinah in a box to prevent Esav from seeing her.
Right.
Hashem says that Yaakov was punished because you prevented her from being with someone who was circumcised. Therefore, she'll be with somebody who's not circumcised.
That's interesting. You mentioned that because the Rashi does bring that later in Parshas Vayishlach, but he does not bring this point of somebody mohu. In Parshas Vayishlach, it says when the story of Shechem, where is it here? Yeah, wait, no, it's here in Parshas Vayishlach. Yeah. Do you know Hechanoisa? Where is it? Rashi's. Here. Chapter 32. Chapter 32, Pasuk 23. Pasuk Chavim. Rashi says that Yaakov took his wives and his 11 sons, 2 wives, 2 maids, 11 children,
I think he's dead now.
Right, so Rashi asked, "V'Dina heicha hoisa." Where was Dina?
He was
Yaakov had 12 children, not 11. 11 sons, but he had one daughter. Nosno beteva, Rashi says, he put her in a box, v'noba from there, and he locked it. Shlo yitzim bo Esav ein Einov. That Esav shouldn't lay his eyes upon Dinah. V'lochein ne'nash Yaakov she'meno me'ochiv. Yaakov was punished because he prevented Esau from marrying her. Shema tachzirenu lidmutav. Maybe Dinah would have had a positive influence on Esau, and she would have made him do tshuva. And as a result, v'nofla b'yad Shechem. Therefore, as a result, she fell into the hands of Shechem. This is the most amazing Rashi. This, I mean, it's a Chazal, it's a Medrash Tanchuma. But just imagine, I mean, would you marry? You know, you're in danger of meeting this guy who's, like, by all standards, is not a good guy. Okay? He's violent, he's voracious, whatever. Anyway, so you can understand Yaakov. He doesn't want Esau to lay his hands upon Dinah. So therefore, you can really understand. No, he should have trusted in Hashem, and if it would have resulted.
Rabbi, you lost your audio. I can't hear you anymore. Rabbi, I can't hear you.
From Yaakov.
Rabbi,
Yeah.
I saw you were talking, but I couldn't hear you.
Anybody hear me?
Now I can.
Lost
But,
you.
Hello? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I don't hear you now. Do you hear me?
I hear
Do
you.
you hear me?
Yes, I do.
You do, but I don't hear you. I don't know what happened there.
I hear you fine.
You hear me, Steve?
I hear you. Yeah, Lou, I
I'm
hear
gonna
you
check my
perfectly.
microphone. My microphone is responding.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
My microphone is responding. I'm not sure it is. Let me check. Oh. Now, 1 second. Do you hear me?
Yes, can you hear
No.
me?
No, I don't. I changed my thing here. Let me do this. Hello?
Yes.
I don't. I see you speaking. You hear me?
I can
You
hear
hear
you,
me?
yes. Yes.
Okay, but I don't hear you. 1 second. Maybe. Now, you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
But I don't hear you. I'm going to go out and come back in again, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't hear anybody.
You can say that again.
Well,
My fault.
What's your fault?
I didn't realize I'd put the cookie dough
Oh, Baruch
in
Hashem.
this pen. to
You know,
freeze.
I'll tell you the truth. I was convinced that the train must have wandered over to the Fleshik side or something.
No, because those both were marked Fleischer.
Smart thinking on your part.
But I
Okay.
don't believe it. I thought I put on a different one. I forgot how carve. I don't have a different one. Hi. I'm glad I just decided to check anyway. Ah. Wow.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay. 1 second. You hear me?
Yes,
No?
yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Fine, I can hear you too. Okay. Okay, so let's go back again now.
You were saying that it seems strange that that Hashem was unhappy with Yaakov because he put Dinah in a box.
Right.
I heard that.
But anyway, what I'm pointing out is what you brought is the way we have it, the way Rashi brings it, it doesn't mention anything about Esau being circumcised or uncircumcised, the way Rashi brings it. Could be the two different midrashim, two different opinions. Okay.
I
Anyway,
heard
let's
that
begin.
the reason that Yaakov was punished, that Yaakov was punished, was not because he put her in the box per se, but because he was happy about it.
Right.
Happy
Could be.
about
That he wouldn't have to marry his daughter to Esau.
why shouldn't he be happy?
Because
Exactly.
Esau was his
That is
brother,
true.
and Esau
Right.
could potentially have been saved by Dinah. So he should have done it with great sadness. Oh, this is terrible. I really wish I could help Esau, but
Now
I'm
I
not
got you.
sacrificing my daughter. If that had
Right.
been his attitude, he would not have been punished.
Yeah. By the way, we also see, I mentioned to you yesterday that Esau technically was not he wasn't a goner. He wasn't a totally lost soul from the start. He could have utilized his, albeit
His proclivity.
non-studious powers, right? I wanted to go out to the field and hunt and do all these things. He could have used that for the good. Enoch Hanami wasn't cut out for sitting, to be a Yoshev Aholim, to be sitting in the tent and sitting and learning. But he was naturally a Ish Sodeh, right? He was like outward going. On the other hand, he could have channeled those
Drives.
whatever those characteristics, he could have channeled them to use it for the good. And we see as well, the Maisa, we'll see in the next week's Parsha, that Leah and Rachel, Laban had two daughters, Leah and Rachel, and Yitzchak had two sons. So the brother and sister, Rivka was the mother of Yaakov and Esau, and Laban was the father of Leah and Rachel. So they thought, great, we'll have 2 and 2. Right, make a Gemaritic Shidduchim. And it says that actually, originally, Leah was supposed to be predestined for Esau, and Rachel was predestined for Yaakov. And Leah wept to the extent that she, how do you call it? Her eyelids, the hairs from her eyelids fell out due to the tremendous weeping tremendous amount of weeping that she went through. And therefore, so it says, her eyes were soft, they were like puffed up from constant weeping. Okay? Upon him, but that was Chazal also say there that had Leah ended up marrying Esau, she may have brought him to the good. Anyway, Maisa was told me at that time, Esau was already well entrenched in his ways. We're talking about when Esau was much younger. Anyway, okay. I'll go upon him. Let's continue the next Rashi. Kuloi kaderes seo.
Where are we?
We're in 25.
25.
Chapter 25, verse 25.
Thank you.
Well, he was
So, Lou, you have one
covered
more
with a
Rashi here.
hairy robe, and they named him Esau.
So, Kula kaderes seo. You have the up to the Rashi there? Lou.
Yes. Malay Se'ar Kitalis Shel Temer. He was full of hair like a talus of wool. Hamilea Se'ar, which is full of hair.
Full of hair. What it means is not refined wool, but a fleece, like a wool fleece. That's what Rashi brings down, the French word. Floked. Floked is, and he brings in Yiddish, Volna Stoff. It was like a fleece, uncombed wool. Okay, next Rashi, Vayikru Shema Esau.
And they called his name Esau. Kol Karu Lo Chain. Everybody called him this. The fish Shahaya Naaseh Benigmar Bisaro. Because that he made
he was complete. He was made and complete in his hair. Keben Shonim Harbe. Means he was born with a beard.
like he was older, like he was much older.
Right, as he was a number of years old. Just imagine a baby coming out, full of hair, and with a beard, full flock of hair. Well, okay, on his head is not necessarily so strange, but certainly all over his body, full beard.
Where do you see he's had a full beard?
Well, he's Nigma Besaro Keben Shonim Harbe. Number of years. I don't know, maybe he's not 13 years old, or maybe. But anyways, he was certainly full of hair.
I mean, how does a baby come out, I'm looking 2, 3 years old, but, fully grown? He would have ripped her apart.
Well, not necessarily in size. There was certainly something unusual. This was something not natural.
Fine, but I don't see why we have to go to that length to say he had a beard.
Okay,
I think if he had a beard, it would have been noticed. And
well, it was definitely noticed. Vayikru Shema Esau.
yeah, but I don't see where it says he had a beard.
Okay, I'll grant you that.
Here, I'll explain to you why it says he has a beard. Because it says that he was made and developed fully with hair as one who has many years, one who is many years old. Now, how does a baby come out looking like he's many years old?
So it means yeah, but it doesn't mean necessarily had the full beard. Maybe you look like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old.
Because of his hair. It says it's because of his hair.
I understand. I know stuff, but I'm saying a 10-year-old has more hair on his skin.
It has to mean you have a beard.
Okay, should we
I don't know,
continue?
maybe, yeah, maybe not, I'm not sure. I'm leaving it open. Okay,
Chaf,
Steve, Pasuk Chav Vav.
V'achorei ken yatsa achiv, and afterwards his brother came out. V'yado ochezet ba'akev, and he was holding, and his hand was holding on to his heel of Esav. Yeah. Vayikra Shemo Yaakov, and his name, and he was named Yaakov. Yaakov, yeah, Yitzhak, at that time, Yitzhak ben Shishim Shana, Yitzhak was 60 years old, Beledet Otam, at the time of their birth. Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's see, Rashi. V'achrei ken yatsa achiv, okay? Afterwards, his brother came out. Shemati Medrash Agada, the Rashu Lefit Shuto, that explains it according to its simple explanation. But din haya ochez bo la'akvo. But then is, according to the law, I don't know. Yeah, he was holding on to his.
Let's go through the whole Rashi. We'll see what Rashi is about.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yaakov notzeh mitipa rishona. Now, Yaakov actually had been created by the first tipa of semen, I guess. Esav min hashniya, and Esav from the second. Okay. Zeh ulamed, that's going to teach us mishpot
You learn out from a tube. Shapiak Tzora has a very narrow opening.
Zeh melamed mishpot feret shafi katzara. Shoferet is what, like a pipe, had a very a tube, very narrow opening. 10 lashte avanim zoachar. Now, if you put 2 stones in this in this narrow tube, one after the other, hanich neset rishona teitze achrona. I don't see how that's possible, but okay. The first one goes out first, comes out first. The nichneset achrona teitze rishona.
Right. Means if you have 2 tubes. One tube.
One tube.
You put one tube. Take a tube, right? And you put 1 stone in, and then the second stone. So which one's at the bottom and which one's at the top?
The first stone you put in is at the bottom.
Second one is at the top. Now, when they come out, how are they going to come out? That the one that came in second will come out first.
I don't see that, but okay. I mean, I don't see that. I don't see that logically.
How can Rashi be so simple-minded? The womb is not like a tube. It's like a balloon. It's like a sack, and the baby moved around. It even says that when she went near one place, one wanted to come out. So they're moving around.
Yeah, but this is before that.
The order in which the drops came in.
This is at their inception.
You're asking me a question which I'm not familiar with, but the tubes, the fallopian tubes, yes, the conception doesn't take place there; it takes place in the womb.
Correct. The egg
the woman
descends through the tubes into the uterus.
Means that the woman ejects, the fallopian tube ejects an egg into the uterus, and that's where the conception takes place.
That's right. That's right. But
So I don't know.
it's not the conception that's important here. It's the birth. The question is, I mean, what Rashi is intending is there's a connection, a direct connection between the conception and the birth. And that doesn't make any sense because the womb is not a
So that's
tomb.
the first master read. And the first asked this question. Just 1 second. We have a note over here. Where is it? No, I don't. No, I don't have anything. But the Mepharshim do discuss this. That L'chaya doesn't, the fetus doesn't grow inside the tube.
Right. And not
And
only
not only
that,
that, as you said,
the sperm is
and
not
what
like a
determines
stone.
who
The
is the
sperm is
first one?
swimming.
Right, and who determines who's the firstborn is also not who determines who's the firstborn is not the conception, it's the actual birth.
Right.
The child that's born first is the firstborn, not the child that's conceived first. Okay, the Mepharshim discussed this. Where does Rashi get it? Anyway,
But let me try to finish it because I have to go in 2 minutes. Nimsa Esav Hanotzer B'Achronan. Therefore, it comes out that actually Esav was created after Yetzirah
second,
Rishonah,
right?
after the first one, Yaakov, Shenotzer Rishonah. That Yaakov was created first. Yotza Acharon. And he, because of what he came out last. Okay. The Yaakov bar le'achvo. I don't know what that means.
Yaakov came to hold him back.
Oh, Sheyeh Rishon v'leida, not because Yaakov
He
wanted
should be the first to be born. Rishon Yitzira, in the same way as he was the first to be conceived.
the
Yifkas
Rachma.
He should open the womb of his mother. And should be able to take the birthright. All right, what, sorry?
I said Yaakov was a pretty smart little fetus.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm on my way. I gotta go. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're leaving now,
Yeah.
Steve? Okay, so Lou, carry on.
Okay.
Ba'akev
Esav, the heel of Esav. Siman she'ein zeh maspik. It's a sign that this one was not sufficient.
Must be, he won't manage to fully establish his kingdom.
To complete his kingdom, al shezeh omeid until this one will stand, the note la hey menu, and take it from him.
Yeah.
Vayikra Shemo Yaakov, and he named him Yaakov.
Who called him? Because he doesn't say. It's like the term, the part that leaves it ambiguous. Okay.
Right. So Rashi says it was Hashem.
Right. Then we see there's another explanation.
Devar Acher, alternatively, Aviv kara lo Yaakov. His father called him Yaakov. Al shem achizas ha'akev.
Ha'okev.
On account of his
Okay.
holding the heel.
Akev, yeah.
Then Shishim Shana.
Okay.
He was 60 years old.
So now what is the
Shanim,
husband?
Shanim mi sha'a.
Mishenos ah.
Oh, Yud, to 10 years from when
He married
he was
her.
married. Ad she naases bas Yud Gimel Shana, until she became 13 years old. Ura uya lehe rayon, and she became fitting
He's fitting
for
to become
conceiving.
pregnant.
Vav Yud,
So by the way, what Rashi means over here, Bas Shloshes Reshona, it means in her 13th year.
right? And
Because
10,
the girl could
10
become
years,
pregnant at the age of 12.
pardon?
The girl can become pregnant at the age of 12. Rashi says Bas Shloshes Reshona. Sounds like she had to be 13. So that's what I'm saying. It means in her 13th year.
I see. Okay, so after that, it's another 10 years, which followed. Vahim teen law, he hoped for her. Kamo she'asa aviv l'Sarah, just like his father did for Sarah.
Right.
Kevan shelo nis abra.
When he saw that,
Yeah, when she did not become pregnant,
right,
Yada shehi akara. He knew that she was barren. V'hispalel aleha, and he prayed for her.
right.
Ushifcha
Right.
lo ratza lisa.
So why did he do like his father?
He didn't
Right?
marry,
Why didn't he go to marry a Shifra? The
right?
fishing is Kadesh Bahar Maria.
Because he was sanctified in Har Maria to be a burnt offering without blemish. So he didn't have a blemish. He couldn't marry a second wife. So we learned from that marrying a second wife is a bad
He
thing.
couldn't marry a Shifra. He wasn't allowed to marry a Shifra.
Well, marrying a shifcha is a
Okay.
bad thing.
Well, she's not on the same spiritual level as a regular woman. Okay. Okay, I think we'll stop here. Okay. Very good. The Seder, we'll carry on tomorrow. Pasuk Chof Zayin. Excellent.
Okay.
Be well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.